All right, let's talk about goal setting in 2023. There's two parts to this that you need to know, and I'm gonna go through them. So the first thing that you need to understand is you need to be able to analytically break down your 2022 or your last year. It doesn't matter if this video comes out in 7 years or it comes out tomorrow. So forget the year. Just remember, you wanna take last year, take the 12 months, average out the analytics, and then say, okay, if I wanna grow by X% and I put in this much work, I would have to do X% more work in the following year. And this is how you start to break down how you set real goals, especially when it comes to business, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to literally anything. It doesn't matter, it's the same formula, okay? So for instance, I'm gonna use business, okay? So if I have a company that does $500,000, all right? And I want that company to do $1 million in the next 12 months. And I go through the last year and I say, well, we sent this many emails, we signed up this many people, we did this many texts, we spent this much on advertising, we acquired this many new customers, and we did this, right? I can average out what that is over a 12-month period and say, okay, we need to contact this many people, we need to send this many emails, we need this high of an open rate, we need blah, 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 and I can go through and figure that out, right? My marketing budget would be this, and you have those numbers, and then you say, okay, I have to double it in order to double my business. That would make sense, right? Mathematical sense. Now, it's not guaranteed, but you would know that if you doubled the work, you should be able to get double the result. That's pretty common knowledge. So then you have to sit down and realistically assess, am I physically capable to put that kind of capacity in? And again, a lot of people are probably not. A lot of people work really, really hard. I know I tell myself that I work really, really hard. Is there room for improvement? Yes. I've never met a person who says, yeah, I'm really lazy, I don't really do shit. Most people think they work really hard. Most people think they're really busy. So now, do I have the physical and mental capacity to double my own workload to hit those success margins? Or do I need to hire more employees? Do I need to set more realistic goals? How much work do I want to do? If you believe in the thing called balance, what does that look like for you?
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great.
Right, and these are conversations that you need to have. So if you know you're working 12 hours a day right now, and the 12 hours a day is what got, and you can, break down those 12 hours into I did this, and then you say, okay, I can work 14 hours a day. I can go to 14. I can't go to 16, but I can go to 14. Well, if you're gonna work another 1/6 of your day, how much is that gonna equal 100% growth or 18% growth, right? And then setting that realistic bar. So when you guys are setting goals for the year, remember, a goal has a deadline. It has a set mathematical, we're gonna hit X by doing A, B, C, D, and E, right? Dreaming, and what most people do is they go, oh man, yeah, next year I'm gonna double my business. Oh, next year I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. Oh, next year I'm gonna do this. Well, that's not, you're not. You're not gonna do any of that shit because you would have started already. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and say, hey, my goal is to lose half of that. Like I can, I have a good lifestyle, I enjoy it, but I wanna lose 25, 30 pounds. Okay, and I wanna do it by December 31st, 2023. Okay, so now I know I have 12 months, I can break that down, I can do 3 pounds a month on average. If I do that, I'm over my goal, everything's set. What habits do I have to where I can cut out enough calories that's gonna help me lose a pound a week or a half a pound a week, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you start really analyzing that, you can say, okay, cool, if I cut out this and this and this, I can lose some weight. If I add cardio this many days a week, if I add weight training this many days a week, if I go hire a personal trainer to do this and this and this, I can lose this weight, I can get to this goal, no problem. But what that gives you is a game plan, it gives you a set result time, and it gives you something to measure every single week when you get on that scale, when you look in the mirror, when you take those before and after photos. Those are the things that really, really, really matter. So no matter what you're trying to break down this next year, make sure that A, you do it rationally. Okay, if you're already working your ass off, do you really have the capacity to work your ass off at double the efficiency and double the rate? Most people, the answer is probably no, okay? Especially if you consider yourself a hard worker and you're just an intelligent, rational person. Set your goals accordingly, right? So we just set goals in one of my companies for a 5% month over growth, right? Now that would be a 60% growth over the course of the year, but when we look back over the course of the last 12 months and we can see in different analytical areas where we grew, who we need to focus on, how we need to improve that customer's experience, and then how we need to turn that one customer into two, it's a realistic expectation that we could be 60% higher by the end of 2023 in one of my companies. So that's the goal. So now, after quarter one, what we can do is we can sit down and reassess that goal. Hey, did we do this amount of work that we said we were gonna do? Well, no, we only did about 75% of it. Okay, well then let's adjust our goal. Did that match up to what our outcome was? So let's say we only did 75% and we only grew 75% of our goal. Well, what does that tell us? That tells us that if we would have put in the work that we said we would have done, we would have hit our goal. But if we're not comfortable putting in that much work, do we need to readjust the goal? And these are things and conversations that most people on the internet won't tell you to have, because you should dream bigger and be better and blah, 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 blah. No. Be a fucking realist. Be a realistic expectation person and actually assess the amount of work that you did and if you're comfortable with that amount of work versus the lifestyle that it produces for you. Because most people aren't honest enough when they do that, and they keep these rose-colored glasses on, and then they live an entire life of frustration and disappointment instead of analytically establishing what they want to accomplish, what it's going to take to get there, and then setting up the work to be done in order to accomplish that goal. So when you're setting goals next year, do what I just said, no matter what, and you will be able to be much more successful, much more realistic, and honestly, it's much more sustainable in the long term.